Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, folks of all gender persuasions, my name is Rachel Christine Marie Curtis. I am 37 years old and I want to be your president. Why? Well, for a lot of reasons. One, this country is in the middle of a civil war that is being fought with words and not widely recognized as being a civil war. Two, I'm of the people. I live off of disability, and I'm willing to take what I get in disability and food stamps to the White House with me because I don't need to be paid big bucks to change a country. I don't. There will be naysayers, obviously, largely from my family, which, cool, they can say whatever they want. But I'd like to see them provide documentation, like my mental health records, my physical health records, my taxes. I am willing to expose my taxes. Yeah. See Trump do that. He still thinks he won the election. 2 years on. But enough of that. I'm not a big corporation. I'm not a politician. I'm a humble human being who is also autistic. Just found that out the 19th of this month with ADHD. My sister called me a hypochondriac. But where's her documentation? Did she go to the doctors to get the evaluations done? No, I did. Me, myself, and I. Bring on the documentation, cat. Bring it. Oh, and for any politician or, big businessmen who think that they can copy what I'm willing to pay, I will call a copycat because that is exactly what you are. I am blunt, and I will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. I'm posting this on my YouTube under the name Insane Ricky. Why? Well, because that's my YouTube channel. Sorry, it's The Insane Ricky. It's actually a large personal joke for myself and has been for a very, very long time. Because that's what everybody thinks. Again, provide documentation that I am insane, that I am crazy, that I belong in a nut house. Every mental health provider, caretaker, yeah. You want to get to know me? Cool. I'll put my Twitter link in the description below. Any physical health people want to get to know me? Twitter link in the description below. And it's just to ask me questions one-on-one. And I will ask for your documentation. And I'll put it online. Has Trump ever been willing to do that? Has any politician been willing to do that? Oh, no, sir. I'm a United States citizen, born at Fort Belvoir Army Base in Virginia. Never been outside this country, ever. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Mexico. I haven't even been to Canada. And I live in Washington State. I don't have a passport. Because passports cost more money than I have, generally. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm willing to tell the truth and nothing but. In fact, that's my campaign slogan: truth and nothing but. My family can bark all they want. I'm willing to undergo whatever tests people want to fucking throw at me. Because why? Truth and nothing but. I want to fight for the people. For the, oh, what was it? 50, actually, no. No, 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 no. I'm going to look up the proper numbers. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Oh, that's not what I wanted. This is going to probably be a long video. Ah, here we go. So, the numbers have been updated. This is from 2021. From MHA National. The Mental Health America Association. .org, mind you. So these people actually go through and take these numbers and pull them up. Oh, I'm about to have some fun. So, in America, 19% of adults are experiencing mental illness. That is equivalent to over 47 million Americans. Doesn't stop there. 4.55 are experiencing a severe mental illness. The state prevalence of adult mental illness ranges from 16.14% in New Jersey to 25.25% in Utah. Now, I'm not going to break this down into each state. So, I said 47 million, yes? 47 million Americans, adult Americans, suffer from mental health. That's not including children, ladies and gentlemen. That's just adults. Number of people, not people in the U.S. There are 329.5 million people living in the United States. The mental health population in this country is a minority. I am part of that minority. But it doesn't just pertain to the color of my skin. No. No, 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 no. That is black, white, Mexican, Spanish, what have you. Any nationality can be capable of having mental health issues. That's right. Anybody. My sister thinks that everybody is autistic. I say you're only autistic if you actually have the gene for it. Which I'm willing to get a DNA test because I got some questions about my family that I need answers to. Willing to provide that documentation too. I was a former foster kid, working on getting that documentation. It's already in the process. Let's see. let's go back to the naysayers, because there's going to be a lot of them, especially in my family. Probably a couple friends too, but then again, my luck with actually having good friends is been remarkably poor throughout the history of my life. Eh, c'est la vie. A little bit thirsty. Dealing with not inflation, inflammation issues. I'm also, I do have issues. Yeah, I'm willing to admit it. But those issues stem from traumatic experiences, like getting hit by a car while crossing a crosswalk. That hurt a lot. I have documentation for that. Was in a car accident when I was 17, 18. I can't remember. 17, because I got kicked out when I was 18. That much I remember. Or maybe I was 17. Mental health issues. It's hard. It really is. Because I only remember the experiences, not the dates. Well, the dates, yes, but also I do remember some dates. Others are just feelings. 17 years old, when I trusted a driver to drive myself and 3 other people to a place called Third Bridge in Colorado, supposedly haunted. Four of us got stoned. The driver didn't. And we were outside when we were smoking, so there was no chance of the driver having any contact with marijuana smoke, even secondhand, because we all made sure to smoke away from him, as is polite for somebody who said he was allergic. I was sitting in the back seat in the middle between one Amanda, and I really wish I could remember her last name, because I remember her death every year. And the date stands out because it was Friday the 13th. I can't remember the year. Pretty sure if I just scroll back with a calendar, I'll be able to find it. But that's not right now. And to Amanda's mother, I did wish it was me. But I'm still alive. And so I will fight in her memory. Because that's what I've always done. I hope you can understand that. There's another young lady next to me, on my right. And I'm sitting, bitch, back seat, and I start nodding off. Because the heat's right in my face, and we're listening to techno, and I'm just vibing. I am just totally vibing. And then all of a sudden I remember jerking. And I don't remember the screams. It was completely silent the entire time. But I remember the whiplash and the rolling and waking up with the car on its side, on its right side, with the body of Amanda draped over me, jerking. I already knew she was dead, but I had to check anyways. And yeah, this is gonna sound off the fucking chart, but she told me to wake up because she knew I had the knowledge to keep everybody safe, to make sure that everybody got out of that car more or less in one piece. I still live with that scar. And here, and right here. That's truth for you, ladies and gentlemen. Is there documentation? Oh yeah. Gonna have to find it. I'm willing to fight for the minorities because, surprisingly enough, when we're combined, we are mightier than the bigotry, than the racism, the people calling us hypochondriacs. Oh, and anybody who's claiming to be an anti-vaxxer and believes that vaccines cause autism, here's a little secret for you. We already have vaccine mandates, you dumbasses. Seriously. Anybody my age, or a little older, or a little younger, we received vaccines in school. Yeah. There's documentation for that. But I'm still willing to fight for the Trumpers. Sorry, the Trumpettes, as I should call them, because they're puppets, including my sister. I told her I had autism and ADHD, and that she might want to get herself and her kids tested. And she calls me a hypochondriac? Documentation. Show it to me. I will tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Can you say that about a corporation? Can you say that about our government? Probably not. But the funny thing is it's both sides, Republicans and Democrats. I'm an independent. I don't buy into what Trump's going on about. I don't buy into what the Democrats are going on about. And when I say Trump, that's all encompassing for all Republicans, except those who've come to realize that, yeah, Trump ain't the president you thought he was. And I am purposely targeting Trump for a reason. Because truth and nothing but. As opposed to won't release his taxes. Still thinks he won an election that Biden won. And don't get me wrong. Biden is doing the best he can. But he is limited by his own corrupt government that runs this country. And yeah, it's both sides that are corrupt. In fact, they're playing us against each other. Oh, it's the blacks' fault. It's the Muslims' fault. When Sandy Hook happened, Trump blamed people with mental illness because, oh my God, there's so many of them, and they're all killers, and you want to know what I want to do? What I do when I want to go on a killing spree? I go play video games because A, it doesn't get me into trouble, and B, there's so many mods that can make things happen so prettily. Am I a little unstable? Yeah. I'll admit it. I will freely admit it, that I'm just a little bit unstable. But that's also a product of growing up in a country where you're supposed to believe everything that you're told. Have I been racist? Oh, yeah. Have I been a bigot? Actually, no. Because throughout my life, I've had numerous friends who were transgender or gay or drag queens. I myself am gender fluid. Yeah, gender fluid with a femme body. I am mostly masculine a lot of the time, but I do have my moments. Do I like dresses? Oh, yeah, when I pick them out myself. You want to know everything about me? Just ask. And I am saying this to all the people of the United States. Not just the minorities or the corporations or the politicians. I'm talking to the Oath Keepers, the KKK. My sister, who, in a personal conversation to me, and I will ask for documentation of this as well from the phone companies, I have Mint Mobile. I'm pretty sure if Ryan Reynolds sees this and says that I need documentation, he will bend over backwards, most likely, to see that I get it. Why? Because he's that kind of person. He's a good man. Anywho, sister. Ah, yes, my sister called her daughter's principal a nigger. And yes, I am willing to say slur words in quotation. And that's it. Because nobody deserves to be called a hypochondriac. Nobody deserves to be called a nigger, a chink, a spick. Nobody. Now, I do understand just a little bit of her anger, especially when the principal decided to step into classrooms and say, there's an active shooter on campus. Can y'all help us find him? My niece is in her teens. What the principal did was idiotic and could have gotten people killed. I agree with that. I agree with that anger. What I don't agree with is calling him a nigger. Because, yeah, he might not be very smart, but really, just stop calling people names. And I'm saying this to everybody in the world. Again, have I been racist? Oh, yeah. I've been absolutely racist. But then I got away from people who were telling me to be racist. Toxic people. Very toxic people. 90% of my family. The other 10% remember that they have black cousins. While they are not actually related to the family, they're still black. Yeah, I have two black cousins from an aunt's previous marriage who married my uncle, Tom. I will state family names. Yeah, please don't go after them. Talk with me. And whatever they spout, I'll provide documentation to back it up. Because as one of my IT teachers taught me, documentation, documentation, documentation. Oh, and if I suddenly disappear or I suddenly commit suicide, I'm not suicidal, for one. And the only time that I've ever tried to commit suicide was when I was going through a prescription drug withdrawal. After the state of Louisiana, the city of Alexandria denied me my rightfully prescribed medications. Yeah, there's a little bit of vengeance in all of this. But who isn't a little bit selfish? Oh, and to anybody who I knew as kids, with a few exceptions, mind you, because there are people out there who were friends and then bullies and then friends, and they know who they are. And it's very few people. I don't remember where I was going with this. That happens a lot. I will be judged. I know this. I don't care. And I would like to apologize to the band Eight Graves because I'm going to be quoting their song during a presidential campaign speech. I have a story. I won't be sorry it's told. Is it real or fantasy? Oh, that's for you guys to decide. But I'm just going to tell it. You have questions? Just ask. If you want to rail at me, cool. I got 2 ears. You need a shoulder to cry on. COVID restrictions being what they are, you can have my virtual ones. But I'm willing to work for this country so that I no longer have to see pictures, because it really should have been a headline. I don't want to see pictures of a man texting his wife. Amazon is not letting us leave the floor. They are not letting us take shelter. If I do not come home this evening, I love you. I don't want to see that anymore. So, the families who lost so many in that tornado that tore through, 4 states? And how many ever miles it is? I'm not going to look it up right now because this is going on 30 minutes. But that's fine, because I'm going to wrap this up anyways. I'm willing to fight for you. People who live off of disability. I'm one of you. people of different nationalities who live in this country. I want to fight for you, not for the corporations, not for the big businessmen, not for the politicians. No, I want to fight for you. Because it's about time someone stood the fuck up and said, yeah, no, you guys aren't doing what we need you to do. And I'll do it. Documentation and all. You want to know about me? Just ask. And I will tell you the truth to the best of my ability. Because, like I said, brain ain't so great. Truth and nothing but.